We are live.
Fantastic.
We are still going live. Okay, I think we are on. We are on. So good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are in, please press like and please put in your questions for Shahrul. This is Shahrul Channa. If you don't know her, I don't know who you are, and I don't think we can be friends. Shahrul obviously has made a huge impact in the stand-up comedy scene, both in Singapore and Malaysia. So there's absolutely, and also obviously globally. So there's absolutely no excuse not to know who she is. She is amongst being a stand-up comedian. Very important things to highlight. She is the only full-time female stand-up comedian. So if there's anyone who's wondering what they should be doing with their lives and what markets are untapped, hello, she's the only full-time female stand-up comedian in Singapore. Let me just read this out as well. Fueled by twin desires to give women a voice, and Charles very much known for holding the space for women and making sure that she gives women who may be voiceless that voice. And she's recently staged sold-out shows highlighting the challenges faced by women today, such as Crazy Poor Sita. Don't know whether that's come to Malaysia. That's another conversation we're going to have as well. And Disco Sheila and other Indian super women as well. She's trained in theater from LaSalle College of Arts, so she actually got properly educated for being a performer. She didn't just become an accidental one. She holds a Bachelor of Arts in Comms from University of Buffalo. So she ticks the boxes in terms of getting the qualifications required to be in an Indian community. We're so excited to have her here. I'm just so grateful that when I reached out, she said almost immediately. Here's an interesting thing as well. Shahrul and I have known each other for maybe about 18, 19 years. I met her maybe about 18 years ago and we're reconnecting for the first time. So thank you, COVID, once again. Shahrul, hello.
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for having me. I think 18 years back at some place in Suntec, as you were telling me.
Yeah.
Friends, which means that the world is really small and all Indians know each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether we connect and get along, that might be a different thing, but definitely we're absolutely connected. So, Shahrul, we're on the topic of mental health, and I thought we'd just get into it straight away. What was it like for you when you were growing up, and then moving into this space, and then moving to the space of stand-up comedy, and then being who you are today? Because the person that I knew you 18 years ago, very radically different experience that I'm having today, and not like there was any clear understanding of who you were, but I never expected that you would be this person today.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether you ever expected yourself to be this as well. What was that journey like?
So because my parents came from India, my father, he got a job at Holiday Inn, and I had just been born then. I was about a month and a half old, and my dad moved all of us to Singapore. So here I saw, two people, a man and a woman, just breaking, gender stereotypes. My father is a chef, so I saw him in the kitchen, and my mom was going out to work as well, and she was teaching kids. So all three of us, all three daughters, we have very different concept of, the gender roles in our heads, I guess, are normal or equalized, We did not grow up thinking that women are any less or men should. Of course, my mom would sometimes creep it in that you need to learn how to cook, or what are you going to feed your husband, right? Once in a while, because she had that kind of construct, because that's how she grew up, right? That you have to make sure that a man is well fed, and that's how he's going to stick with you and be married to you and not run away, because food is the way to keep a man.
Yeah, and also a woman, but anyway.
Yeah. And so when I was growing up, like three daughters, I'm the middle child, so I guess I did suffer from some middle child syndrome. Because every time I fought with any of the two, I had to be the one, like, she's older to you, can you be respectful? And she's younger to you, how can you fight with a younger kid, So I was the very odd child. I think I was really odd. I was also fighting for constant attention from my parents, because they were trying to make a living. They were trying to not take any loans and bring us up. And both my sisters look very different. If you look at three of us, I look like the most different kind of looking human being, right? Because I'm a mixture of my parents. And the two, they're, very different looking. So there was always a feel, maybe I was always battling with this thing that, do I belong to this family? And there was so much of that. And
so
I did have quite a few insecurities, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just turned out to be the kid, the kid who would just keep making fun of people, like family members, relatives, everything.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that I felt that my need for attention was so high that I said the only way I can do it is if I became an actor or an actress.
Right. Right.
And so I think it was a natural urge to go, I need attention, give me attention, right?
Right. I
Validation.
can't believe that you're saying this so comfortably. I think there are a lot of us who need and want attention, but we would never be able to like articulate that because it may seem very not socially desirable to say something like that.
Yeah, I think that's why I think that's what stand up has done to me. Like the inhibitions or the filter is off.
Hmm.
And it's only because it's, we go on stage and say our truth. I mean, 90% of my jokes are true.
Oh, come on, Charles. I think it's about 100% there. It's okay. We will keep it at 90% so that we're
90%
always in a safe territory.
It's like,
Yeah.
some human body is like,
Yeah.
did it really happen? Did you really have weed? Or whatever.
Yeah.
But you become so used to saying things the way they are for you or your truth. You can't
Yeah.
lie anymore. There's very little room for lies, to be honest.
Right. Right. That's
And
awesome.
so
Is that
that's
quite liberating then, or is that scary?
it's liberating at times and scary as well, because I think that if I'm not no more with Rishi one day, I will have difficulty adjusting with many other men out there because I'm not sure if they will be able to handle an honest woman.
Hmm.
And I tell this to Rishi all the time. I said, what I
Right.
have to do is nice, because you can take all the honesty that I give you. Having
Yeah.
said that, tomorrow, if for whatever reason we have to leave each other because we're going to change and evolve, we might not be the same people.
Yeah.
I need to see. I don't know how I'm going to go back into the dating world, and that's a fear.
Hmm. Right. I can't even believe that you're actually talking about this so
What?
openly.
Why?
Because I'm sure many people think about it like, what if I'm not with my partner anymore? What would life be like after that? And you're actually talking about it.
We have to think about it, because at any time, and many times it happens, right? When artists, they become too big and they are married, they do end up in divorces, right?
Yeah.
Because
Or even non-artists.
oh yes, yes. Or
Yeah.
like who does that to you when you get very famous, or your partner is not as famous as you? They're not on the same level.
Yeah. So what are you talking about? What fear is that then? That you will not be able to be with somebody else? Or what is that fear of having full liberation?
I think will will men who are in society, who are so used to having a certain kind of certain kind of women in their lives, will they be able to handle a person like me?
Right.
Because
So your fear is being accepted then. That
yes,
fear of being rejected and that need to be accepted, hopefully, gets
yes,
fulfilled no matter what.
absolutely, yeah. Because
Yeah.
when we go back into the world, the normal world, men expect. I mean, like, I can't do the whole coy thing anymore, or like, I
I would love to see you try though.
mean, I'm a shy person at times, but I can't
Yeah.
find it really awkward that I would just tell the person, like, yeah, these are my expectations. It's very nice to meet you, but I'm a stand-up
Yeah.
comedian. I might occasionally make
Yeah.
fun of you on stage. So
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's quite interesting that it comes back down to that need to belong, and that you were talking about it even as a child.
yeah.
And I guess as we grow through our experiences, it's quite interesting that um, we call it the kutu, the mother kutu. We have all kinds of fears, but it comes back to the mother fear, which is, I guess, for you or for quite a few of us, that fear of rejection or not being accepted by who it is that we desire for.
Yes.
And what else is there? What else are you afraid of with regards to being so liberated?
I yeah, I think mostly that's one fear that
Mostly that, yeah.
mostly
And what has been wildly unique about this experience? Because obviously you were never I'm pretty sure that you were never this truthful or blatant or out there as you are now. What has
Yeah.
been the best thing that has come out of being this person?
Um, I think the best thing is that people just don't know whether I'm telling the truth anymore, and that's the beauty of it.
What do you mean?
Sometimes when I'm talking to people and I say something and then they laugh and they're like, "That's so funny!" Like that's so funny. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, "No, it's
Uh,
they don't know that I'm telling the truth." And it's so great because people just don't know when we are telling the truth.
oh my God, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. That is
Because
super funny. Yeah.
like I could go to a party now and people know me as a stand-up comedian and they will ask me something and I will tell them the truth and they will just laugh and they'll be like, let me get a drink on that. And I'll be like, okay, get a drink, get two.
Oh gosh. Okay. So in your journey, what when you look back at mini Shahrul to Shahrul today, what have been some of the most difficult times that have really, really tested you, challenged you, and maybe you even felt like you were drowning? By the way, if your Facebook Live is switched on, you might just want to switch it off because I'm hearing a bit of feedback.
Oh.
Yeah. So are there times where, that you remember where, yeah, I think I'm hearing a bit of feedback.
Oh, I'm not on my.
You're not, huh? Okay.
No.
That's fine. That's fine.
But let me
That's
share
fine,
it.
babe.
Please, let me go to the page. I'm so sorry. I want to share it on my Facebook so that more.
Please do, please do, please do, please do. Take your time. We can do way more than half an hour with you.
Okay, so it's called Mental Health. Sorry, can you give me the page name again?
Mental health at work. Were you joking there, or was that for real, Cheryl?
Mental Health at work.
Mental health at work?
Yes. Okay.
Shall I share that for you?
Join group. Yes, and I will share it on my.
All right.
Watch.
Can you see it?
Yes. Watch me live now. With.
Yeah, take your time. Put it on your.
So that.
We're already hearing someone saying hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Cheryl is doing the right thing. This is the way things need to be done. There needs to be a lot of likes and shares and comments and stuff, which I suck at, but yeah, I'll learn that in a bit.
It's all good. Like, I mean, I've shared it on my page. Hopefully, people who are not doing much.
I just want to switch it off.
Close. I'm going to switch this off. Okay, so that you don't hear the. Okay.
Yeah, and I guess the good part is that this will still be on. This will still be something that people can watch after it's done as well. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. So when you look back, mini Shahrul to Shahrul today, what were some of the hardest times?
So I mean, the 3 points in my life, I mean, up till now, which has been very trying. The first one was when I was growing up, I was a fat kid, and I had pimples. I mean, I still do. I'm still breaking out. I'm still in my teenagehood all the time. Okay. And that I think, and
I think that's so cute.
No, it's always like I feel like God's like, you're gonna be a teenager all your life,
It's one way of looking at it.
And so because I was this big girl with a lot of like, I had pimples and I was going through all of that, and the pressure because both my sisters. I mean, okay, this is not to get pity out of people, okay, but this is the truth, okay. Both my sisters are absolutely gorgeous, touch with perfect skin, really like the conventionally beautiful girls, okay. And so when I was growing up, there were a lot of times where the compliments would stagger in a way that it was like, oh my God, Dolly looks exactly like your mom is so pretty. Oh man, Harsha is such a sweet like kid, and then Charles is smart. And Indian people are notorious at doing that, right?
Yeah, they're really, they have to say something. They just have to say something.
And everything is based on looks and your color and your, because from the day you hit, before puberty even, they start giving points on your eligibility when you are in the market to get married to people, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so if she's like that now, and then like, they start doing the plus minus.
The prediction. Yeah. Can or cannot. This one can or cannot.
Yeah. That was happening for me at that point, and it used to put a lot of pressure on me because and then the second thing, I was not good at math at all. So if you're not good at math in a country like Singapore, you are doomed.
Are you?
You're at least made to feel that your math, you're gonna suck your whole life. Like, where are you gonna go? I swear, when I came out of my O levels, the two courses that were available to me with my math result were nursing, which God bless all the nurses today.
You would make a great nurse. You'd be making everybody laugh.
Yeah, I might.
But no.
I think it's a giving job. It's a very giving job.
Yeah, and Charles, like he told the last time you checked, nursing is not about making people laugh. It's actually to get them well. But hey, laughter is the best medicine, apparently.
Yes, I wish
apparently
people could just laugh and go away.
So it was either nursing or
the arts.
Right.
But not even at Victoria JC. It was the arts in an arts school.
Yeah, right.
Because they recognize that you don't need to be good at math to become an artist.
Yeah.
Unless you're drawing. But even then, nowadays, abstract drawing, it looks like shit.
What are you going to draw? Okay, anyway.
Well, drawing can be anything. Like, I went for this exhibition, and I respect artists, okay? But I saw like.
Are you joking now?
No, I don't know. I just saw that, like paintings with like dipping stuff into the paint and throwing across the paint, and they call it experimental art. Like, I think in the name of experimental art nowadays, everybody's an artist. And sometimes I walk into these exhibitions and I'm like, because the like, do something else here, which is better.
Yeah. So what was hard for you then when you were growing up? What was hard in that time?
I think to deal with good-looking sisters who are smart as well, and also choosing drama as a life choice, where nobody literally, or very few people from the Indian community, were choosing it as a career choice. And so not only was I fighting with myself for validation, like, because of so many insecurities that I harbored, but also I was dealing with this whole new, I think it was my natural instinct to want to break through convention. And that requires you to cry a lot, and
a lot of pain involved in that.
A lot.
Yeah.
So I think I put myself through a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was my own faults, and sometimes it was other people. And so that was my.
Yet you made that choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I made the choice. It was self-inflicted, but sometimes you can't do anything. It's your conditioning.
Of course. And I think majority of the time when you're fighting, you're actually fighting with all the voices that you've heard from the day that you're born till today, and that you've accumulated.
Yeah.
And you also telling me that it was very hard for you because then in light of that, not having a role model, so to speak, like a female that you could kind of look up to and say, hey, that person did it this way, and then maybe that might be the path for me. So there were not many women, as you were saying as well.
Yeah, there were not many women in the scene. They one. I mean, my father contacted her, but she was not doing a stand-up comedy. She was she's a producer director, and she was in the scene, and she worked for MediaCorp, and she was 21.
Right.
Went and met her, and she said, she told my father, let her do what she wants to do as well, if that's what she wants to do.
Oh, thank God.
Right. And then I worked with her as well on 2-3 plays, and after, and but having said that, it never is. You have to create your own sort of shape.
Yeah.
Not stay boxed.
Yeah.
That's not Corona.
Oh, you
Sorry.
can't say anything until you got tested. um,
Yeah. And so,
hmm,
and the other person whom I spoke to, which I think this person really helped me, was Kuma.
yeah.
Because when I
Oh,
first,
amazing.
yeah, he's amazing. He's such a nice human being, and I know he looks like he could be really like tough, but you have to be tough. I mean, I think
Yeah,
Kumar is the one person who fought so many odds in Singapore because, you know,
of course.
cross-dressing, stand-up
Yeah,
comedian, cross-dressing, gay. There's so many things. In,
yeah. It's just
you know,
unbelievable.
in the older generation,
Unbelievable.
people used to call him
Yeah,
like, like in the older generation, these older Indian men would not shy away from calling him Bapo
yeah,
and very terrible names that he didn't deserve.
yeah. And did you get name called as well? Did you ever have that experience?
I never got name called, Hetal, but I know that when I was younger, there were enough groups of people uh, who would think of me as a very odd person
Mm-hmm.
because it was very cliquish sort of the cliquish kind of community, right? So you had these girls
Mm,
or like groups of people, and I didn't fit anywhere. So I knew they would talk about me, especially because my older sister had had the popularity as a teenage girl. So it was
mm.
always like, she's such an odd person,
Right.
and now it's really weird because they want to be friends with me.
Yeah.
And then,
The same
yes,
people who would have called you names are the ones who want to be your friends today.
yes, and it's
Mm.
it's not even all like I don't even feel like it's a win for me. I just feel like saying congratulations, you broke another barrier in your mind. It's not even like yeah, it's just like
uh, good for you. Congrats.
yeah,
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So growing up as someone who had your own questions about where you belong and your own questions about how am I going to do what it is that I really want to do, and break out of this space that, or break into a space that has never really existed enough for women and Indian women. These sound like they were quite challenging for you. And on top of that, weight and complexion, or whatever you call pimples, I'm not sure, whatever you call that. And then also the cliquishness of people, because when you're younger, obviously friends and what they say about you makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Um, and I really hope you do more stuff on bullying. Actually, I really hope that you do a lot more engagements on with schools and bullying and stuff, because this sounds a lot like what is really needed, because it's kind of happening in a lot of platforms as well for younger kids. I really hope you do
Yeah.
reach out to schools and do more stuff with kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I do ever get to the point, I would love to because um, I right now I'm into this whole women empowerment thing, and you pick your battle and then you fight it. You pick one
Yeah,
thing
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, one thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that if there is something that's that happens for me, also because I might be too headstrong for kids. I don't know how
You'll be great. Oh, come on, try it
I
out. You'll
used
be
to do
great.
drama to kids, and after doing that for 5 years on a part time basis when I was doing other stuff as well, I really got tired of kids. Like I'm just like I can't deal with these little humans because
You're
some
speaking
of
like a lot, like a lot of the parents that are going through their kids' experience now. Mhm.
yes,
COVID with
absolutely.
kids, yeah,
They are
yeah,
I think parents are going through a lot because of it. Really does take a village to to raise a child. It really
yeah,
does.
yeah,
Our generation,
absolutely,
or our communities are not ready for rearing kids.
yeah. I think that's extremely well said. We don't even, we haven't even made a connection enough with our neighbors to say, hey, would you be able to help me out with my kid? And they say yes. So forget
Yeah.
about a village. Even our neighbors may not be on board. Yeah,
Absolutely. And like the whole thing about how we were saying that so many newspaper articles are now coming out that there's domestic abuse happening or there is divorces. People are filing for divorces, and it's so telling because, to be honest, people don't even connect with their spouses genuinely. I mean, they get either married for the wrong reason, or they have never taken the time, because we've been ticking boxes since young.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
know the pressure of, I mean, at times I've also thought that, okay, have I ticked a box? What have I done? Am I even ready for this commitment? Do I do enough for myself? Um, am I okay for this person? Because at every point I'm changing as a person every
Yeah.
year, and
Yeah.
so is the other person, right? So do
Yeah.
we just
Correct. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. 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 That's a really important point of view. Like I think sometimes we have taken very big steps in our life for the wrong reasons.
yeah,
And it's important to recognize that and obviously rectify it in
yes,
whatever way or format, because anything that you resist will persist, and it will
yes.
kind of blow up in your face as well. So what are the major challenges? You're saying that there's three real milestones in your life that were probably really hard for you to overcome. So that was
So
mini Shahrul, and then
yeah. Second was in Singapore as a community. Because Indian women or Indian faces were not norm in the
yeah,
media industry here. Still, I would say are not. So there is, of course, you've got the Vasantham, which has wonderful actors, um, fantastic actors, actresses who are in that scene. But it's very difficult for them to make a leap into the English scene.
yeah,
And as someone who was theatre trained, I did not fit the whole theatre. When I went for auditions, I wasn't picked. And I don't think it's only about not being good, or maybe I didn't pass the audition. There were times where I felt that they just didn't know where to put me.
mm,
Because
mm,
where am I going to fit? I don't
right,
sing. I'm an actor, but then do they have roles for brown colored people?
right,
They don't have enough
yeah,
at all. And if they do, it's the brown person or the brown girl wearing a sari with an Indian accent who is just like, we'll talk like this in
yeah,
Singapore. And to be honest,
yeah,
I was not ready for that either, you
mm,
know. And the
yeah,
only reason I'm not doing videos on Facebook or Instagram where I'm playing a character who's Indian, who's over the top,
typical,
is typical, is because of this reason. It will get a lot of hits because that's what people want to watch, but that's something I don't want to give them,
yeah,
because I want to tell them
yeah,
I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm a woman first, happen to be Indian. Yes, I have Indian-based jokes, but I'm only talking about my experiences growing up. But
mm,
I'm a normal function. I don't have an accent. I could have an accent, but if
yeah,
the accent is with my family or my
yeah,
neighbors or India, I
yeah.
have an accent. It's very natural.
Yeah, yeah. So what you're trying to say is that when you finally got into a space, and there was you created a space, they didn't know what to do with you, and the
Yes.
only way that they could place you was based on what they had understood previously about who Indians are and
Yes.
what how they should be represented in media, and you didn't want to be that person
Yeah. I didn't.
because
I didn't.
because why
Uh,
were you rejecting? Like you probably would have gotten a role, you would have gotten money, you could have gotten like a little bit of
yeah.
fame, you could have gotten everything that you wanted because you signed up for precisely that. But you rejected that because
Because I didn't want to fit in a construct where there is no growth for Indian women.
hmm,
Where honestly, like, after many years, now articles, when they interview me, they say Shahrul Channa, stand-up comedian.
hmm,
It's not Shahrul Channa, female Indian comedian, or Shahrul Channa, Indian actress.
hmm,
And I think that leap has taken a long time.
right. So it's a really good thing that you held back on a short-term gain and you
Yeah.
focused more in terms of where you really wanted to place yourself. And I'm really glad because you kind of have also supported community development, so to speak, by rejecting roles like that. Because that's not media perpetrates or media, kind of influences us so significantly that if we see
Yeah.
more of a certain thing, we become that. So yeah, that's long, long, long-sighted thinking, but also part of your corporate social responsibility, I guess.
Yeah, you do hold a lot of responsibility when people, a lot of people are watching you. Like right now, I know that whether it's my Instagram or my Facebook, I'm now followed by a lot of Vasantham actresses who
Yeah,
are like immensely talented, okay, very famous in the community. And when I have conversed with them, I always, my thing is that they don't have to come in the English scene, but if they did, and if the media made space for these women, they will do so well because they are so talented. So one or two might have jumped over, but I really feel that they don't need validation from these people. But if you want to do well in a country like Singapore or be in Southeast Asia, you need to be open to doing everything.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you have to really think about yourself as colorless,
Colorless.
or raceless, or well, I can't say genderless, but you know what I mean. Like you should be able to, navigate across any kind of domination of spaces. And what else? What else did you struggle with, or what else was really hard for you? Being in the community, and being a stand-up comedian, being really out there, really having a voice, um, uniquely different from the way women are typically meant to be, or portrayed, or accepted. What else was
Yeah.
really hard for you?
So once I got into it, and then the whole trying to fit, the moment I could fit in, of course, there were two things. One is I am in a scene where they're majority men.
Mm,
And so, how would I, as a woman now, fit into this office with only men colleagues or very few women, you know? And
mm,
even if they're women, they sort of came and they left to go overseas
mm,
because they're international. Like two of my really close friends, they're now no more here. They've gone back to different countries, and they're fantastic women. I mean, fantastic comedians who happen to be women. And we did a show called Comedy on Heels, and it was Crystal Zuiz and Joanna Seal.
mm-hmm.
And for us, we traveled, and fantastic comedians, like really funny women. And but they all left, right? And so it was just me going, I I only have myself, and then now, of course, there are new women who have come up in the scene, and there's really good, promising ones who are fantastic. Uh, but you don't know what to do. It's like you come into an office and they're all men. They all have dick jokes as well, uh, and then they also, speak to you in that lingo, and you have to
Mm,
be open. You can't be like,
mm,
I'm a girl. You can't like, I mean, I became like one of those boys when I was hanging out with them, but
yeah,
yet I had to have my female voice strong on stage.
yeah,
So that
yeah,
constant having to switch between the genders or the energies initially
yeah.
took me some time, but it wasn't too long because of the way my parents brought me up.
Right, right.
Because they
And
were
what does that
gender,
mean?
because my parents, remember, like, because they didn't really, I saw gender
Right.
roles being
Yeah,
switched.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
my father as a chef, and my mom going out. So for me, it was like, oh, this is normal. This is normal. This is
Right,
normal.
right, right. It was
But
easy. It was easier.
absolutely, but not for people
Yeah,
outside, because they would
yeah.
look at me like. So different people are different things, right? Like some men in the Indian community was like, she must be really loose. Like, I mean, are you marriage material? Like, I don't get to understand her personality, because she doesn't
Mm,
want our attention. She's not trying to look beautiful because she makes these weird faces on stage. And then others were like, oh, it started out with, oh, she's a Indian woman who's being funny. And then the Indian men were different. So it was so many
yeah,
things happening at the same
yeah. A
time.
lot of noise about what is this? How do I make sense of this?
This
Yeah.
creature.
How do I make sense of this? And yeah, I mean, I think, even watching you at the past X number of years, it just kept like, the one thing that I kept having in my mind was, how did she do this? It wasn't like there's something weird here, but I was like, how did she do this? This is really radical. This is really radical. Like, how the did she figure out how to get into this space and be this person in this industry and create this? Because this is really radical. There was no judgment. It was always like, for me, it was like, whoa, how the hell did she do this? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's actually unthinkable. Very unthinkable, actually.
a lot of questions. Like, your question is very valid, and most of the questions are. But sometimes you will be surprised the kind of questions I've gotten from people, only, and it's coming from a very innocent space. But if any other person were to be asked these questions, they would not be able to take it. Like
like you feel really insulted. Yeah.
we do. Like I've had people come up and ask me, like, so your husband? No, I don't get it. Your husband's okay with doing this. So I was like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? He's like, I was walking once with Rishi because he's a stand-up comedian as well, right? So we were walking down East Coast Park, and legit, this auntie was like, Shahrul, you're very lucky. Rishi's a very nice guy because he lets you do this. And you're like, okay, auntie, thank you so much. And you like,
yeah.
okay then, or
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
a drunk girl recently who said, who came up to me and she's like, and again, innocent. No filter, innocent. So she came to me and she's like, it's not fair. And I'm like, yeah, not fair, not fair. She still kept saying not fair. And then I had to be like, tell me what's not fair. And she's like, you're so funny, but your husband is more famous than you are. And then, and then I looked at her and I said, okay. And on a daily basis, you have a lot of things being thrown at you. Also, Rishi and I get a lot of things like,
oh my God.
if you both broke up, like statements like, if you both broke up, we will lose faith in love. We've had so many people, Indian community, and now we started outside as well, where we've got people from even the Chinese American, they say these things to us. We will lose faith in hope if you both broke up. And that's why I started doing more jokes on my marriage and the reality of what I had been going through when I did go through difficult times. Because people need to understand that it's not a perfect relationship. You don't need to know that, but you don't need to know how we're functioning either. But here are my experiences. Which is why when I talk to the media, like when we were doing the Valentine's Day show recently,
wow,
tell us how much love there is between the two of you. And Rishi and I mean, I would turn to them and said, well, for now I'm with him. I don't know next year, but for now I'm with him. And for now it's nice. And this is how we make it work. And I always say for now, and they're like, no, but you're not giving the real, I know the marriage values. You like, do you want to? I said, no, I'm not going to perpetuate. I'm not going to say till death do us part. It is till the next time, if we grow out of love and understanding and we're not on the same page anymore, I'm going to tear that page of mine and place it in another book.
I can't believe you're saying these things. I actually can't.
Well, I mean, it's true.
Because there's so much wisdom and there's so much courage in saying something like this. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. Like for whoever's listening, some of you might be like, till death do us part. For some of you, you've sworn to never get married. And for the rest of you, you may be somewhere in between. But the reality is that every one of us in any relationship at any point in time, you're probably wondering like, what the hell am I doing here still now? And why am I still here? And to be able to openly discuss something like this. So, especially in our community, it's just not tolerated. And especially if you are in a community and talking about it, like if you're, a different color, maybe, this is when even if you try to be colorless or raceless or whatever, at the end of the day, then you'll be like, yeah, I'm still brown, you're still Indian. And I'm just so proud that you're talking about things realistically and the reality of what it means for you, from an independent point of view. This is my point of view, and this is it. I love it. And I think it gives me a lot of courage actually when I as I think about things in my life, just hearing somebody you talk about it so confidently, because you can only talk about it confidently when you have done all the simulations in your head, you've thought about all the risks about talking about it, and you've decided still I need to do this, and you're probably doing it because of a real purpose as well. And
Yeah.
hearing it from someone like you gives me the confidence to say that, in a relationship, this is the reality of what Cheryl has also seen. I've also seen it too. And this is how
Yeah.
she approaches it. Now I have another paradigm
Yeah.
by which I can operate. I don't have to operate according to my parents' paradigm or whatever it is. There is somebody who thinks about things the way that I do too. So I'm really
Yeah.
grateful that I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm really
Yeah.
grateful that you're very open and honest about something that obviously has a lot of repercussions as well.
Because when we are in the entertainment industry as well, people, what happens is that you see reality so much, like, because social media and Facebook and Instagram, on a daily basis, you see couples looking for validation from other people in the form of likes, in the form of comments, so that people can
Yeah.
tell them that they're the perfect couple, they are the best couple, the hot couple. And some people do it so much on a daily basis, right? That when you meet them and you see some sort of
Yeah, it's just
shades
completely fake. Yeah.
so different.
Yeah.
I would say maybe not everybody, but okay, there's a certain percentage that is true. That's how they want to do it. But majority of them, it is just a huge, big, fat lie.
Yeah.
And you know, and you get, and in the entertainment industry, because you see so much, like you could be seeing a husband with another woman. When you know the wife, you know the husband. You keep quiet. You go back and you go, they have to deal with this. And then the next
Yeah.
day there's a picture on Facebook where they are asking for validation, going, come clap at the circus show because I need it,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. I have to apologize to our viewers, people who are listening in, obviously because of Shahrul. And this is Shahrul Channa, Queen of Comedy in Singapore, speaking about mental health and obviously trials and tribulations as well that you and I obviously have gone through or will go through at some point, or know someone who will go through it. So we've got a couple of people saying hello, 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 and hi, Cheryl. Imagine you could time travel. How would you describe 2020 to mini Cheryl? So, what does 2020 look like? How do you understand 2020? The world.
Uh, I think 2020 is the year. I mean, how I see it is that 5 years worth, what was supposed to happen in 5 years has been fast tracked in 1 year.
Mm,
So all the decisions that people did not want to make was stuck on facing their fears. Everything will happen in this 1 year.
yeah, it's like the ultimate digital disruptor, right?
Yes, everything will happen
Mm,
in 1 year. So if you were meant to make a decision about your education, or leave a partner, or have a child, or everything will happen in this year. I think
because
that's how
why? Because why?
because I
Is it
feel
the
that
sense of
I just think it's the universe's way, because I'm into I'm one of
energy
the
and
in astrology, and I believe
yeah. As you were speaking, I kind of saw that. I saw the crystal ball come out. I honestly saw that.
I even read tarot. I'll be out about it. I read tarot. I did 2 advanced courses of tarot. So I only read it for like friends, but I read tarot. So I believe that everything is going to happen this year. It's been fast tracked. It's the universe's way of going, we need to do accounts for all the shitty stuff you've done and the good stuff that you've done.
Right.
So this year, we're going to fast track everything, and 5 years worth of decisions in this year.
I would definitely, I love the fact that you said that because I fast tracked all my connections. I fast tracked a lot of decisions that I had in my head that I couldn't make a decision on, in terms of technology as well. So yeah, that's a grand way of saying it actually. And that could mean a lot of other things for other people as well. So someone's asking, what do you do on a daily basis to stay sane after listening to such comments from people? And just keeping yourself going as well. So how do you keep sane, Cheryl?
Where it concerns this specific period of the COVID, since it started, I have started cooking a lot. So I have a Corona diary. Corona diary, guys.
Oh
Okay.
my God. And it's blue because
No reason. It was free. Okay, guys, because I did a show for an organization and they gave it to me
Okay.
for free.
Okay.
In this Corona diary, I am writing um, all the new things I'm learning. So whether it's recipes, uh, whether it's if I'm working out, I'm writing nice things to myself that, Shahrul, you worked out today, and how did you feel after you worked out?
Mm.
And also, if you want to progress in your career in such a difficult time, what are the changes you're going to make?
Mm.
Uh, and also, I keep reminding myself that I don't need to get my nails done. I don't need to I've been spending money on a lot of these things to upkeep
Mm.
all my shows, right? Because you have to do your hair, you have
Yeah.
to do makeup, do everything. Pictures, like attractive pictures on Instagram to tell people that you're hot equals to likes, right? So how are you going to be like, I don't want to do that anymore. Let me do other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so personal development, really.
Mm.
That, but when people say things to me which are not really nice, I always believe that you can show a picture to someone and they will always point out things which are most affecting them.
Mm.
So, like, if I showed you a picture of a couple, one person might say the girl's really ugly, which means the people who are commenting are not comfortable with their looks.
Mm.
And one person might say, "Oh my God, you guys look so good together." That means they are yearning for a companionship.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so when people say mean things, I feel bad for them because I feel like they are not comfortable with themselves.
Yeah. And in psychology, we call that projection. So you're actually projecting what you're unhappy about with yourself to somebody else. And then you're also doing transference. So you're transferring that to the other person as well. And
Wow.
if you kind of look at it, that person had somebody else projected on them and transfer it to them. So if you look at it, I think all of us are connected by projections and transference and constantly being triggered by triggering somebody else as well. So
Yeah.
I think that's how energy is moving, and that's why it's very important to be mindful about the energy that you trigger in others as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
No,
we're sorry.
I had no idea it was called projection. So I learned
Yeah,
something new.
I was just trying
Dari.
to be pandai there for like a little while. I'm like, hey, Cheryl's being a comedian, being funny. I need to be a psychologist and say something a bit pandai lah. Keep my job, right? I'm joking. I'm joking. But Cheryl, it's been awesome chatting with you. I've always been a fan. And I know that I've been mindful about saying hello once in a while and saying that you're doing awesome work. But I think I'm a real fan today, like as a human being. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think it takes a lot of courage, especially in certain communities, to speak about certain things. And I just hope that you know that, and I'm sure you do, that because you say certain things, and you're really young. Um, but you saying this makes a huge impact on the next generation and the kind of way that they can think about things and feel comfortable about the way that they are thinking about things. And that level of comfort kind of takes away that years of trying to battle with yourself. Years. You take like 10 years to wonder, like, why do I think like this? Why do I behave like this? And then you hear it from someone and you're like, oh, I'm normal. I'm okay. She said it, so I can feel it. It's okay. So what you're doing, I think, in simple words, is you're taking years of pain out of someone by having processed your years of pain and then daring to say it as well. So yeah, I definitely have benefited from greatly from at least one or two decisions that I was contemplating in my head. So thanks a lot for that.
Thank you so much for having me. It feels so
Yeah,
nice speaking to you. And, you know,
yeah,
and I look forward to speaking to you more. And please reach out
yeah.
any. You have my number, and we can
Likewise,
always chat.
babe.
And this is such a good.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll teach you some new words.
Yes, please. I need to. I need to learn.
And you can teach me some good wisdom as well.
I'll
Thank
be
you
using
so
the
much.
project.
So together with me is Shahrul Channa. She is the queen of stand-up comedy in Singapore. Someone who's literally broken into a space that never existed before, created something, put herself completely out there, and has obviously taken a lot of risk to still stay in that space and continue thriving. And if she writes a diary and she has a Corona journal or Corona diary, I strongly recommend that you do too, because it will be in 5 years' time one of the most unique experiences you've ever had in your life. We're talking about mental health, something that we don't really talk about all the time, especially in the space of comedy, much less the space of I don't want to categorize it, but the space of being a female Indian as well in Singapore. Thank you so much, Arul. Is there any advice that you want to give? Something of a last parting thing that you want to say to anyone?
No, I just want to say that keep listening to Hetal. She's doing great work. And, I think as far as possible, be true to yourself, because we're all only going to be around for like 50 years or less.
Yeah.
If we're lucky. Yeah.
Yeah. That's well said, darling. Take care. All the best to you, okay? Keep in touch. Anything I can do for you, let me know as well.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.